Hello guys, welcome back to the second video on questions related to basics of OS. So we have already discussed 5 questions. Now the next question is discuss some criteria while selecting an OS. Now there can be different criteria for selecting an operating system depending upon the environment in which it will be used. But the most common ones are ease of use, performance, and resource sharing. Ease of use means how easy the OS makes it to use the system. For example, people generally prefer using a graphic based system rather than a command line based system. Why? Because it is very easy to perform tasks when you use or when you can see icons and windows. But if performance is what you prefer, as is the case in professional environment like for servers, then you may prefer a command line based system because you can achieve much more by executing a single command. Now, if you try creating, let us suppose 1000 files named from 1 to 1000 in a graphical user interface and in a command line interface, you will see that in a graphical user interface it is easy to begin with, but it will take a lot of time to achieve the above task. Whereas if you use the command line interface, your learning curve might be slow because it might take you some time to learn which is the right command to create so many files. But once you learn the right command, you will achieve the above task in just 2 to 5 seconds, depending upon how fast you can type. Similarly, if the focus is to operate a mainframe or a mini computer, which can be used by multiple users at the same time, then an OS which is efficient in terms of resource sharing will be preferred. The next question is, what is the difference between monolithic and layered structure? Now, monolithic means that all the functionality, that is all the services that are offered by the kernel, will be in a single layer or a single module, whereas in a layered architecture, each functionality will be part of one separate layer. So as you can see, in the monolithic approach, all the services like the CPU scheduling, memory management, etc. are in a single layer. The drawback of this approach is it's very difficult to debug, and if there is a bug in one of the service while you are coding, it will impact all other services as well because everything is there in one single function. But in the layered architecture, the innermost layer is the hardware. The next layer will contain exactly one service. This layer will be developed first, then the next layer, and so on. Now, which layer will contain what service is not fixed, as it can vary according to the manufacturer or the target system that you are developing. The next question is, what is the importance of BIOS in a system? Now, BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. It is a firmware that checks whether all the hardware, that is the CPU, RAM, battery, etc., whatever hardware you can think of, are working properly or not. BIOS is the first software that runs when you power on your system. It then loads the bootloader, which in turn loads the OS, and then the OS takes over. Question number 9. Why don't a system start if there is no RAM? So you might have noticed this, that if you unplug the RAM, the system will not start. This is because for any software or an application to run, it must be in the RAM. Hence, if there is no RAM, the BIOS is not able to load the bootloader, which in turn cannot load the OS, and hence the system does not start. The final question for the basics of OS is, what is the role of ROM in the system? Now, ROM stores the firmware like BIOS or any other firmware that controls devices like graphics card, hard disks, etc. Since BIOS is the first software to start, So it has to start automatically, and hence it is placed in the ROM, which is non-volatile. But in modern systems, BIOS is placed in flash memory. This is done because this allows the user to update the BIOS if needed, because flash memory is reprogrammable whereas ROM is not. So I hope that these questions on the basics of OS might help you at some point of time in your interview process. In the next video, we will discuss some questions related to process. So till that time, keep watching DexTutor. Do not forget to subscribe and share. See you next time. Take care.